Wow, look at that. It made quick work of the hairpin as if it was, I don't know, a tiny little hatchback. That is ridiculous, and I mean it in the nicest way possible. It's ridiculous. We're here in sunny Switzerland, in the middle of the Alps, and what we have here with us today is the Mercedes-Benz EQS. It is the first all-electric car that Mercedes has designed and built from the ground up based on their new electric vehicle architecture. What we want to find out today is this the best luxury electric vehicle in the world right now? In fact, I think my friend over there is as curious as I am. Let's find out. Hey Mercedes, who is the man who created you?
The first Mercedes was a race car, 35 horsepower strong.
Woohoo! That was quite nice.
Our first and daily thinking is electrifications.
Customizability, that is luxury for us.
The novelty of what I'm experiencing is unbelievable. One of the reasons Mercedes is so proud of the EQS is because it is currently the most aerodynamic production car in the world with a drag coefficient of just 0.20. And they've done everything to make sure that the car is as aerodynamic as possible, starting from what they call the one-bow design, which makes sure that the car sweeps from the bonnet all the way through the roofline down to this somewhat high tail that ends in a spoiler. I was really curious to see what this world record-beating drag coefficient meant when the EQS 580 was in motion, so I immediately put it to the test. Woohoo! That was quite nice. Yeah, and it pushes you back into the seat. I'm over the speed limit. The power delivery is immediate. How Mercedes manages to achieve this is the fact that the 107.8 kilowatt hour battery, it manages to deliver power of 523 PS.
To do that, I need both units you'd like to convert.
Yeah, I know, Miss Mercedes, that you like to show off your skills, but let me finish my thoughts about what the power figures mean. An electronically limited top speed of 210 kph and 0 to 100 in just 4.3 seconds. Now let's continue with letting Miss Mercedes help me with the consumption figures.
The average consumption since start adds up to 14.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers.
If you look right here, you see this figure that says consumption 14.5 from start, which means 14.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers have been consumed. This seems like a fairly efficient amount of energy to be using, and I'm quite happy with it. Of course, that consumption figure I got is partly because I was going downhill on the hairpin bends of the Alps. But I used the opportunity to try out the energy recuperation modes the car comes with. D+ with the least recuperation, D with moderate amounts of recuperation, and the very efficient D- mode, all controlled by the handy little paddle shifters behind the wheel. Since we're on these curved streets, I'm going to put it into D-, and then, honestly, right now I don't have to brake at all. The car's doing all of it for me, and it's also being incredibly energy efficient. All this efficiency leads to an astounding range of 780 kilometers in the EQS 450 Plus and 676 kilometers in the EQS 580. And this technology will filter down to every car that comes out of Mercedes' EVA and MMA car platforms. A milestone for Mercedes in green mobility.
We want to be leader in electric drive, which we have obviously proved here, and we want to continue that through from the S-Class to the A-Class then.
Another fascinating aspect of the EQS is that it can handle charging rates of up to 200 kilowatts at DC charging stations, which means you could potentially get a range of 260 kilometers after charging the EQS 580 for just 15 minutes, or 300 kilometers after charging the EQS 450 Plus for 15 minutes. Plus, Mercedes gives European EQS customers 1 year of free charging at Ionity stations. There we go. To experience this, I headed to an Ionity station where a cruel twist of fate meant that I picked the one charger that was out of order. Okay, so if you come to the inside of the car, you will see that even though it isn't charging, the EQS is very clear that it's not the car's fault. So if you go there, there's a little message that says the vehicle isn't charging and it is the fault of the charging station, nicely displayed on the dash. I was in a hurry to leave, so it's good that I was in a car with an outstanding range. So I was still able to experience a worry-free drive, made all the more exciting by the EQS's rear axle steering. The rear wheels on the 580 that I was driving turned to 10 degrees, which meant that the over 5 meter long car had a turning circle of just 10.9 meters. That meant big fun. It's a proper hairpin. Wow, look at that! It made quick work of the hairpin as if it was, I don't know, a tiny little hatchback. And on a series of endless hairpin bends, I don't feel like I'm doing any work at all. And now back to my friends. It's lovely to be in Switzerland, and I've said it before, the air is really clean, except here, though we have some very friendly, very nice cows, let's just say that they smell a little natural. And because I don't like this, I'm going to get back in the Mercedes. Quick confession, another reason for my hurried departure was that I have something of a phobia of cows, having been chased by one as a little girl. So, you know, the funny thing is, the minute I got back into the car, I realized that I couldn't smell the cows anymore. And what I also realized was the reason for this is the fact that Mercedes has plonked a 10-liter HEPA air filter in there, which means that it keeps out dust, it keeps out pollen, and it keeps out any bad natural smells that the very friendly Swiss cows might send your way. So it's an added bit of luxury that helps isolate you from the outside world in this luxurious electric car. Now, the EQS is an electric interpretation of the values of Mercedes' flagship S-Class, which means the chances of it being chauffeur-driven are quite high. The whole point of a car like this is that you isolate the passengers from the road, which leads to a really comfortable driving experience, a really comfortable passenger experience. In fact, if I wasn't so distracted by the Swiss mountainside, I might even consider taking a nap. And since we've been having quite a few early mornings driving this car, I think I'm going to do just that right now. So chauffeur, please drive as calmly as you can. It's a very polite car, which means that if you don't have a chauffeur on hand to open the door for you, and it's a feature that you're missing, the car will open the door for you all on its own. Why, thank you, Mercedes. And even though I'm in the car, I don't actually need to reach over and shut the door myself. All I need to do is press on the brake pedal, and the door will gently shut for me. Another impressive feature in the EQS is the massive 56-inch hyperscreen that runs from A-pillar to A-pillar. It's in fact 3 separate screens, but seamlessly integrated into the dash as one unit. The driver display is all the information the driver needs, the central display has everything from navigation to media to additional settings, and the passenger display will allow the front passenger to use entertainment functions.
We bring it into the future with these digital parts. You have much more space. There is no middle console. You see it in the car. You have like an open middle console, so you get new features in it. And that's really nice because then you can play with more colors, more materials, and bring a new atmosphere in that car.
Ensconced in the luxurious interiors of the EQS, I decided to spend some time with the artificial intelligence system on offer. Hey Mercedes!
How can I help?
Please switch on the massage function on the driver's seat.
Driver's seat massage is turned on.
Oh, that feels weird. It feels like tiny little hands are poking out of the seat and touching me. Hey Mercedes, can you please switch off the massage function? Hey Mercedes! Hey Mercedes!
How may I help you?
I don't like the massage. Make it stop.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again, please?
Please make the massage stop. I'm begging you.
Ho, ho, ho!
I have no idea what the heck is going on. The seat is getting really hot. Tiny child hands are poking at me through the leather. I'm boiling. I don't like this artificial intelligence one bit. I think she's really messing with me and she has sinister intentions.
Because I was in a pre-production model of the EQS 580, I didn't take any of the glitches too seriously. In fact, I even decided to head to Immendingen to experience Mercedes' next level in artificial intelligence, their Level 3 autonomous drive pilot, which will be available in the S-Class later this year and the EQS next year.
So we have really three major front-facing sensors. There's also on the corners radars. It's the camera, the stereo camera, the lidar, and the radar, and they substitute each other really neatly and perfectly.
And then it was my turn to get behind the wheel.
And now it appears that the drive pilot has taken over. I see the turquoise lights. I know that it's steering on its own. Oh my god, I'm playing Tetris while the car is driving for me. This is like the novelty of what I'm experiencing is unbelievable.
Basically, preventively takes care.
So peace of mind is something that's hard to quantify, but I can feel it right now. So that's nice.
When the Level 3 system believes it has encountered a situation it can't handle, like this police car I needed to make way for, it issued me a series of signals and handed control back to me.
I can activate it again because the lights are on?
Sure.
Okay.
The button below.
Sorry, yeah. Wow, that was interesting. I feel obsolete as a driver. So, yes, thank you, Mercedes. You've made me feel completely obsolete.
And after making me feel completely redundant, Miss Mercedes put me firmly in my place and had the last laugh after all.
Hey, Mercedes, I think it's time for you to take a nap.
No, your questions keep me awake.
I also had a moment to reflect on my favorite thing, that fabulous rear axle steering.
I have to say that I've never driven any manner of mountain road or hill road with as many bends as I've driven today and been this relaxed. Nowhere, no car, no how. Is this the best luxury EV in the world? Well, all things considered, I think it could possibly be exactly that. It is a Mercedes through and through. The feel of the interiors, the build quality of the car, the way it handles on the road. When it comes to electric cars, everybody has something called range anxiety. When you have a range of 780 kilometers, there's absolutely no reason to be worried at all. This seems to be a step in the right direction for the company. And I think it's interesting the fact that they want to switch over the way they build cars. So everything is now built ground up as an EV. If the future is electric, because we're constantly being told that, it is the right way to go. Most importantly, we'd like your opinions and your feedback. So if you have comments about the EQS or if you have questions, drop it in your comments below and we'll try and get back to you.